everyone, this is a short video on how to add and subtract using complex numbers. These are some types of problems that you might see in one of your problem sets, and I'll go through a couple so that you have an idea and a model on what to do with them if you get stuck. So an example might be, please take the complex number 4 plus 7i and add to it the complex number -6 minus, 11i. So the 4 plus 7i and the -6 minus 11i, these are considered to be complex numbers. They're complex because they have a real part, in the first one 4 and in the second one -6, and they also have an imaginary part, in the first one 7i and in the second one -11i. When you add two complex numbers together, you add the real parts to the real parts and the imaginary parts to the imaginary parts. So these are the real and these are the imaginary. Forgot how to spell for a second. So 4 plus -6 is -2, and 7 minus 11i, or plus -11i, which is minus 11i, is -4i. This is your final complex number, which is the sum of those two original complex numbers. If you feel like really dazzling me or you want to extend your answer, you could look for a greatest common factor in this and pull it out. -2 is common to both of the terms in that complex number, which means if I pull it out, I'm going to have a +1 plus 2i left over. So this is a factored form of that final answer, which would be good practice to get into. I'm not going to require that you do it, but it would be good practice to at least try. I will grade you on getting to this point. Now, when we subtract two complex numbers, say maybe I want to subtract the same two, 4 plus 7i, but minus -6 minus 11i. If you remember from Algebra 1, when you worked with subtracting polynomials, we know that we have to change the signs of the value that's being subtracted. We're going to still work with real parts together and imaginary parts together, but I'm going to do the following. This is going to turn into 4 plus 7i, and I'm going to take this minus sign and I'm going to distribute it through. So +6 plus 11i, and then I'm going to combine the real parts with the real parts. 4 plus 6 is 10. And 7i plus 11i, which are the two imaginary parts, turn out to be 18i. Final answer. Again, if you feel like pushing yourself to do the factoring, think about what might be common to 10 and 18i as a GCF. 2 is common again, this time +2, and I'll have a 5 plus 9i left over, which would be the factored form. Again, you need to get to this point. So quick little couple examples on adding and subtracting with complex numbers. Hopefully they'll help you if you're stuck on some of your work.